You can sense the excitement in the fall air. Again, it's almost game time in Ascension Parish, and Monica Arnold got with Principal Templet in the middle of it all to share with us her excitement about tonight's game.
Thanks, Jeremy. Miss Beth, this is the big game, the rivalry game that we've all been waiting for and look forward to every year. What do we have to look forward to?
You have to look forward to the Gators beating the Spartans.
And with that, you're wearing this orange. I mean, you're really bright. Can you tell me the story behind that?
Yes, ma'am. Well, evidently the Spartans go on a gator hunt, and so they wear camo, and the Gators are going to tell them we're not scared, so that's why we're in bright orange.
That's awesome. So on their gator hunt, what do they wear?
Camo.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I see what's happening here.
Yes, ma'am.
This looks like it's a fun tradition for y'all.
It absolutely is. It is a great rivalry. It's one of the biggest rivalries in the state. And so, I mean, it's a long-standing rivalry. You know, we have kids whose parents went to both schools who, you know, now have been converted to Gators. And so, you know, it's just something that we look forward to. It gets kind of, you know, anxious on the field, but, you know, at the end of the day, it's a great rivalry. It brings the community together, and we're just excited to be part of it.
Yeah, and leading up to this, I'm sure I've always heard that there's some pranks that happen. How do you deal with that internally?
Oh, no, ma'am. There are no pranks ever at all. It's great. All kidding aside, it's really a great week. It's a week full of tradition, and you know, we're very, very fortunate because we have a booster club that is second to none. They are so supportive, and they work so hard during this whole week, whether it's the shout out golf tournament or the shout out jambalaya sales. Anything that our booster club can do for us, they do, and we are just so thankful for them. Our president, James LeBlanc, he is a hard-working person as well as the rest of the booster club, and we are just so very thankful. Not a lot of schools get that support, and we are very, very fortunate.
Yes, and we're fortunate from EATEL because we're normally involved in all that fun too.
Yes, ma'am.
So, I mean, the shootout, the shout out, I mean, all of our employees are all in every single year, so that's fun.
And we do appreciate EATEL support and everything that we do as well.
Of course, we're glad to do it. Now, as far as this year goes, it's been kind of crazy. Past few years have. How are y'all dealing with all of that?
Yes, ma'am. If you go all the way back to the flood, it has been a couple of crazy years for us. But you know what? The thing that has been consistent is the resiliency of our kids and our faculty. No matter what obstacle they encounter, they have always pushed forward. You know, success through actions, the STA way, that's our motto. And our kids and our teachers certainly demonstrated every day, but no more so than in the past year and a half, because it has been very difficult. But they have just met every challenge head on.
Just chomping at the bit to get it going.
Yes, ma'am.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much for having us.
You're welcome.
Y'all have a great game. And
go Gators!
There you go.
The Remote Control Vehicle Tech program is a program that's new in Ascension Parish. We have kids that are enrolled in it from 3 of the 4 high schools. Next semester we'll have 4 of the 4 high schools in Ascension Parish. And what the course is geared toward is allowing the kids to obtain their FAA 107, which is essentially their pilot's license.
I signed up for drones because I had an interest to becoming a pilot. You learn so much information, how to read sectional charts, which are like maps and stuff that real pilots out in the real world use. It takes a lot of focus because you can't just focus on one thing.
When flying a drone, you need you or someone else to watch your drone as a visual observer. I was surprised to meet a lot of new people from Santa Maria, Dutchtown. These are all cool people. Very nice.
It's definitely a unifying nature. The only restriction is you have to be 16 years old to take the test.
It's actually cool knowing what airspace I'm in and what airspace commercial pilots are in. After I finish this class, I'm gonna get my own drone, and I'm gonna use everything that I've learned to actually try and do photography with my own drone and actually do that as a little stay-home job to make a little side money.
At the end of the semester, I'm thinking about getting my license, using it as like a hobby. The industry has been growing so big that a lot of job opportunities are here.
Anybody that's watching this, you should definitely take this class. It's super interesting. You can meet new people. You will enjoy the teacher.
He's a very fun person to learn from, and he makes the environment like easy to learn from. I have to say he's probably one of my favorite teachers right now.
My goal is to open it up and expand it as much as we can. I think it's a growing industry. Definitely fun to teach. I think the kids like it, and you know, it's just something special that we do in Ascension Parish that not every parish does for our kids, and just gives them an experience that I think will go a long way.
We're proud to connect businesses in South Louisiana and Ascension Parish. One of those businesses that has been a part of Ascension Parish's story of growth is Sorrento Lumber and Concrete.
Sorrento Lumber and Concrete was founded in 1945. It's been a growing business since then. Lumber was the first product they started carrying and moved into ready-mix concrete. We service Ascension Parish and the surrounding parishes with residential materials, commercial materials, and materials for industrial facilities like the chemical plants along our corridor here. If you come to Sorrento Lumber Company, you're going to meet friendly people, good customer service. Our staff is committed to getting you the right product at the right time and delivering it to your job site to save you time and money. Communication is key in keeping customers happy. Getting the information from our builders and contractors correctly the first time is key and instrumental to having proper deliveries. For servicing your concrete needs for any individual or builder, Sorrento Lumber Company Incorporated has 9 ready-mix plants and 65 trucks to get your concrete to the job site in a timely and efficient manner. EATEL has been Sorrento's provider of phone service and internet service for over 20 years. We utilize this technology to run our business, and if we have an issue, they're Johnny on the spot, and they come out and they take care of it and get us back online very quickly.
Thanks, Jeff. We're grateful for the opportunity to provide services to Sorrento Lumber and Concrete. Next up, Volunteer Ascension, a local organization that recruits and trains volunteers to help the less fortunate.
Volunteer Ascension started in 1997, and it kind of started with just some conversations between community leaders. And it came to light that there was a need for an organization within the parish that could promote volunteerism. We've grown to a place where people, if they're having an event where they need either, whether it's 2 volunteers or 200, we're that call that they make. School Tools is one of our summer programs, and it involves collecting school tools and school supplies for kids. We actually collect all of the supplies and send them back to the schools so that they can be distributed for the first day of school. And we are able to collect and purchase new and used school uniforms to be able to distribute those also to the students within each school. Our Connect Teams program is mostly a summer program, but it does go throughout the year, and it's for kids ages 12 to 17, and we connect them with volunteer opportunities throughout Ascension Parish. I think it is excellent because we're taking 12-year-olds and putting them into situations where they can see that basically not everything revolves around them, and it helps them to understand that service within their own community is extremely important. I would suggest, if you're interested in getting involved with the community and what can I do to help, start with giving us a call at Volunteer Ascension, and let's talk a little bit about things that might interest you or what your passions might be, and we can help to connect you with a volunteer opportunity that would be perfect for you. Our number is area code 225-644-7655.
Thank you, Sherry, and the volunteers of the community that continue to help the less fortunate in our parish.
Thank you for being here with us today. It's an honor to finally meet you, the new principal at EA. How is that going, your first year?
It's really been great. I am so honored and humbled to be able to serve this community. It's been a thrill. I've been at EA for 15 years, so moving into this new role has definitely been a little bit different, but it has been a fantastic start to what I know is going to be a great year.
Awesome. And you inherited some construction, I see. How is that going?
Yes, it is. It's been wonderful. We are so appreciative that our community members have approved this bond and that we are getting this new construction. We are so proud of our school. It is the oldest on this side of the river, but it definitely needed a little upgrade. So we are thrilled that has been the case. It has brought its own challenges, but we are so very thankful and cannot wait to move into these new buildings. So we're really excited.
Okay. Well, I'm excited to see those buildings myself, so I can understand where you're coming from. As far as this being one of the oldest schools in the area, you have the rivalry that everyone in this area has been waiting for and looks forward to every year. What's your favorite tradition about this rivalry?
Well, I think what I love about it the most is literally there are so many families that are kind of split between Spartan and Gators, and you have parents who attended one school and their children go to another one. But all in all, we really do love each other. It's about winning. It's about that one night or that one game. But I love the community support that is surrounded around all of these events. It's been a long-standing tradition. We love to say that it's the best rivalry in the state. So I definitely think that it is a fun week. We are so excited about all the events that take place. But it's definitely one for people to experience if they have not ever done it before.
You have the shout out coming up.
Yes, that's Thursday. So kids are excited, we're excited. I think that we have had so much of a COVID mentality where students have had to stay apart, and we have not had that kind of interaction with students and teachers and people in general. I know that they are so excited to have what is at least perceived to be a normal school year, if we can make it that way. So they are truly excited, and I'm so happy to be able to watch them experience what a true high school experience is like. East Ascension High School does it like very few others can do it, and so we're really excited to be able to give them a true high school experience.
Yes. Well, thank you for joining us today, and we're going to visit a special group at EA that's called the Yell Leaders.
The Yell Leaders started probably about 15 years ago, in which a group of kids who were not football players, they truly loved EA, and they wanted to make a concentrated effort to build spirit on our campus.
We'll try to make the best experience possible. Pep rallies, we'll do performances, we'll plan out skits, videos, while for football games, we'll go to the student section, keep it different, just keep the tradition moving.
I'm in love with being a Spartan, and I'm in love with school pride. Yeah, we have meetings. We'll discuss everything that we're doing that week or the next week prior. We'll discuss pep rallies, we'll discuss what we do on game days, and kind of just plan everything out, and to where we have everything organized and ready to go.
It's intense, and the intensity is built by these kids. They're big about the pomp and circumstance, about the look, because if you look good, you do good. And
you get a football season for East Ascension or any high school once a year, and this Santa Mo versus EA rivalry thing, it's a once a year thing, it's a once a year experience. So you gotta always make the best of it. You gotta make sure you come out, you gotta make sure, go have fun at the tailgates with other families, go interact with people, go to the game, go show energy, go just be yourself, man.
Everybody at EA has lots of friends at Santa Mo, but during this specific week, you're not friends with anybody. I mean, you just go late at night and roll people's houses and have the best nights that you can, staying up late, no sleep. And then we also have our shout out. Friday, we have our pep rally, which is just gonna be amazing.
When you put in all the hard work and you see it come out all in the student section, it makes you feel good.
when you learn to love something, when you're ingrained in it, when it becomes a part of who you are, you can't help but translate that into the other aspects of your life. And so hopefully these kids leave and become productive citizens. That's what my game plan is when I get involved every year with a new group.
Thank you to the students and faculty for sharing that story with us and our community. Next up, it's to the gridiron, where we talk with both coaches about this Ascension Parish matchup.
The senior leadership has been huge for us. All of those guys have contributed. We're peaking at the right time, and that's a sign of them maturing at the right time. They come to us boys, and we want them to lead young men. We always talk about EA meaning excellence always. That's what we strive for. We feel there's only one person to ever do that here on earth, and we strive for that, then we can come close by being good.
You know, our kids are pretty resilient. They've been through a bunch in the last 4 or 5 years here. You know, of course, everyone went through COVID, and we went through the flood, and we've been through a lot, and I think we're a little tougher for it. Oh, it's always a wild week when, you know, when we go against EA in anything. You know, I think you could be playing ping pong or pick up basketball in the park. It's a big deal. So there's a lot going on that week, and it all means something. There's those bragging rights go a long ways in Ascension Parish.
The shout outs for the fans. The game is what we're focused on. So if you get in trouble doing something else, then we lose you for the game, and that's the best way I could put it. So we try to keep our guys focused on the game, and we actually want to take the hype out of it, so they can come out even kill, focusing on consistency and maintaining what we worked for all season long, which is, you know, to win every game every week.
Well, you know, that's probably one of the easier weeks we have of the year as far as motivation, because we don't really have to tell them much, because they're ready from the time the previous game ends until the time when we kick it off on you know, Friday night. And those have typically been pretty well played games, and you know, I think that all the kids are going to be, you know, there's mistakes are made in games on both sides. It's how you respond to them, and I think that's big in these rivalry games.
You can't simulate that. No matter how hard we try, when they get on that field, we see them, they're like deer in headlights. Like, hey, wake up, let's play.
So thank you for being here with us again today. I just want to ask you about your history with Sandomal. I mean, I know there's some history there, so can you tell us a little bit about it?
Well, you know, I came to Ascension Parish as a teacher. I'd been a head football coach in the East Baton Rouge area. I was a head football coach at Lee High School. And we always came down and played Sandomal when I was at Lee because we loved going to the pit, smelling the sausage, and the fans were just phenomenal, as they are throughout Ascension Parish. At EA at the time, we didn't have a Dutch town. Donaldsonville High School just embraces their athletic program. So I had an opportunity to come coach at Sandomal in 1997. And I was there under Doug Morrow as the head coach my first year, and then David Swacker became the head coach my second year there. And what a great experience. You know, my children grew up in the pit almost. My son was a ball boy in the pit. And he still talks about that. It gives me goosebumps thinking about it. And so, yeah, I have a lot of affection for the pit. I really do.
The pit is a wonderful place.
And,
just
and for all of our schools in Ascension now. But I do have some heartstrings at Sandomal High School, no doubt, because I lived on that campus for 6 years.
Yeah. Now, going into EA is going under a lot of construction right now. Can you tell us something about that?
Yeah, so first of all, EA is part of two projects that we have. They were on the 2016 bond list for a new classroom building type deal, and that's begun. But we've since determined that maybe we can do some things at EA similar to what we did at Gonzales Primary, what we did at Prairieville Middle School, to sort of flip it. So there's going to be some demolition. So EA is, obviously a lot of their mechanical pieces are dated. They have a 2-pipe system rather than a 4-pipe system for HVAC. Just a number of things, right? But the project's going to protect some of the heritage at EA. And I'm anxious for us to get that going, obviously, and I know EA is too, but they are part of the 2020 bond package in a big way, and they're going to have a phenomenal campus that they deserve there, you know, as we update what they're doing, to go with the phenomenal people that work at East Ascension.
Okay, and Sandomal's construction just ended, correct?
It did.
Okay, so both high schools took on some face work.
Yeah, that's
you
right.
might say, right? So that's awesome. Now, as far as this game in particular, this is the big game that everyone in Ascension talks about every year, the rivalry game. Tell us your prediction or anything you can give us on that.
First of all, it is just special. It's like no other. I'm sure there's rivalries throughout the state, but there is none that's more exciting for a community than this one. So the shout out and all the things that go with it. I can remember driving buses and, you know, seeing the Tailgaters as you go into stadiums where they go. It is a phenomenal experience. It is when Ascension Parish puts one of its best feet forward all the time, because they know how to compete with each other. They know how to be rivals for each other for one night, and they know how to hug each other when it's all over. So who's going to win? I don't know. It'll be fun to watch, won't it?
It will be.
I'm pulling for both of them.
Yes, I can see that.
Thank you, Monica and Superintendent Alexander. And a special thanks to the students and faculty of both EA and Sandomal. Next up, it's game time. The EATEL Game of the Week coming right at you.